These are the tales and ramblings of two men, their dream of running a successful food truck business and life. We invite you along to join Josh and Skippy on this journey. This is Monday Morning Food Truck.
Oh, good morning, Skippy.
Morning, Mr. Hands.
Welcome to... Huh? What?
How we doing?
I am sick. But other than that, I don't know that I'm sick. It could be allergies. I'm going with allergies.
Yeah, because that's the most common one, so just go with allergies.
Well, I mowed my lawn last week, and my whole front of my mower was covered in an orange dust.
Oh,
so I'm going to go with some sort of allergy.
That's the mosquito spray from the Rumble.
Probably. Or some sort of toxin.
Yeah, you're dying silently. It's all
yeah. Yeah. Oh well.
Good thing you married a nurse.
It explains my respiratory issue that I'm having currently. So
yeah,
it's definitely not COVID.
No, COVID's over.
Okay.
Monkeypox, maybe.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
We'll go.
It's COVID 22 is what I got.
Oh, the is it Omega version now? I think we're up to something like that. I
don't know. I'm not paying attention.
No, neither am I.
How do we start this thing again? Oh yeah.
How was your week?
My week was interesting. I guess I had a Skippy-esque debacle on my way home yesterday, but other than that, we had a
mind you, that debacle that we're going to talk about has happened twice so far in 1 week. We'll get there. No.
Oh.
The debacle last night.
Oh, okay.
We'll get there.
Okay. Yeah. Really weird Saturday for as nice as it was.
We just bypass the week and go straight to the weekend?
Yeah, the rest of my week was pretty normal. Yeah, it was decent. Nothing out, crazy, but it was a decent week, decent sales week. And gotta send another request to have Square change their reporting because I had a October wedding that paid, which is great that they paid early, but then it shows up in my September numbers and I do so many comparisons week to week and month to month and stuff like that. I would rather if there's a date of service that you can put in, if they pay, have it apply to the date of service, not the day of whatever they pay in full. So whatever. I'm happy they're paid early. I just don't like the way that Square reports it.
So, and are you looking this up on your the Square dashboard on your computer?
Yeah.
So one thing you could do is use your register and then click on this device only.
I understand, but even if I pull up a monthly or yearly report, so once I go to yearly, my month shows out of whack.
Oh, okay. Still,
you know what I'm saying? So when I do my projections for next year, and the same thing happened, I had 10 grand in extra in July last year that should have been in. So I showed a super high July and a super low August.
Yeah,
it should have been more balanced. So
makes sense.
This is the only one that I've had this year. Someone asked if they could pay early. I said, if you don't mind, could you at least pay in the month of the event? And they said no problem. So that at least makes it a little bit better.
Yeah,
but it's just my OCD, and it's not anything wrong, but it would make sense if they would be able to do that, or that at least it would be an option. I'm sure there's accounting reasons why it doesn't do that, but whatever.
I'm sure there is.
We don't need another episode on accounting. Not yet.
Not yet.
We'll wait till the end of the year.
I regret
some books, but what's that?
I regretfully declined that episode.
So yeah, Saturday we started our new fall Saturday location for the most part. We have a couple that are still going to be off, but a family farm where they have all the playgrounds and corn maze and you pick pumpkins and all that stuff. And September's usually a little slow for them, and they let us know ahead of time. But this was, so normally they would have 500 to 1,000 on a Saturday in September. I don't know that they saw 200 for the day. And I think we had, I don't know, 17 paid transactions, which is awesome. It's a good day. But it was 82, 83 degrees and not a cloud in the sky. And
Oh, it's gorgeous.
I'm going to chalk it up to the same phenomenon we have in the spring, where you have a day that's way nicer than it normally is for this time of year. And people are trying to either take advantage of it or by getting out and doing things, or trying to get caught up on lawn work and get it done before it. We have the turn in weather that's coming, I mean, any week. So,
Yeah.
I don't know, because our Sunday was slower too, and it was a gorgeous day Sunday too. So, and those were two different locations, and just out of the blue, just slower days. So I'm going to chalk it up to, it was too nice for people to go out and be lazy and get food truck food. So, but other than that, yeah, on the way home from Newaygo yesterday, crossing through Allendale, stopped at a stoplight. And then apparently as I was accelerating or hit a bump or something, my tailgate opened, which wouldn't be a huge deal if it wasn't the exact proper length and angle to hit the raise button on my trailer jack.
Oh boy.
And the trailer jack runs off the battery on the trailer, so it doesn't need to be plugged in order for it to run. So as I'm driving, I hear the clunk and then the scraping, and I look out my side view mirror and see sparks flying. I thought I blew out a tire. Really, I had no idea what it was. I mean, why would I think anything? I mean, or a shackle. I mean, so I'll pull off to the side of the road. Luckily, I pulled off. I was able to stay on pavement enough that the jack portion was able to still stay on pavement without it digging into looser grass, gravel, and probably snapping off. But yeah, she was hot.
Yes, bet she was. Bet she was.
But yeah, that tailgate on the truck has happened before. If you don't really slam it shut, sometimes it won't latch all the way. And I just didn't check before we left. But yeah, it went right back up, and yeah, I will probably take that jack off today and spin it one rotation of bolts, so that way the button's facing out
Yeah.
instead of towards the tailgate. So it'll look weird sitting on there because it's not in the normal way it is, but at least if this happens again, that won't happen again. So, and hopefully that jack is okay and not too bent. But other than that, I mean, piece of cake week. I mean, we had a couple of shorter days of 4 o'clocks, and that's nice. And yeah, it was a good week overall, a good week. Disappointing weekend, but ready to hit these last, I think, 6 weeks of our normal schedule left. So
Yeah.
getting there.
Well, I haven't had a day off since the 7th. I'm enjoying today, even though I've had to clean my trailer more than I care to tell you about. So we had really, it was a good week. Had a couple subdivisions. One was just god awful. It's like $200, not really worth going. Then the subdivision the next day, as I always say a little prayer when I walk to my trailer and walk in the back door, that everything is, at least, if anything fell off the shelves, even though I think I have it pretty much done or pretty much contained, that, if anything were to fall, it wouldn't make a giant mess. So as everybody knows, I got this wonderful new hot box instead of running through Cambros. And for some reason, I decided to open the vending window, and I noticed that it had tipped over. For the first time ever, a bungee cord finally failed me. Snapped the bungee cord right in half. So grease everywhere. Luckily, my helper was there with me. We cleaned it up pretty quick. It was all good. Ended up having a good day. Went to a local brewery on Friday. Everything was fine. She told me, "Hey, we're having Oktoberfest, so just be prepared." I'm like, "Okay." Well, I've done this brewery myself before. By halfway through the event, she was in there with me taking payments for me because I was just backed up, which I appreciated beyond belief. I obviously gave her whole staff food and split all the tips with her because she helped me out tremendously. But ended up serving almost like 110 people in like an hour or 2 hours. So I got my butt whooped. And then I had a catering the next day. I had two doubles this week, like a catering and then either a subdivision or a brewery. For me, that's tough. I'm not used to that yet. So went to a brewery that we go to once a month. They gave us our start. They were actually the first brewery that we ever popped up at. So no matter what happens, I'll always go back if they'll have me. Mm-hmm. But the last couple of times it's been slow, been real slow. And I talked to the owner of the brewery or the distillery, the vodka distillery. And he's like, "Dude, I'm telling you, I hate walking out here and seeing disappointment." And I'm like, "Listen, I'm not gonna bitch and complain because you guys gave us our start, so I'm always gonna come no matter what." He's like, "I know." I said, "So you're telling me it's not just me?" They're like, "No, it's been pretty much everybody." I'm like, he's like, "We had the Cousin's Maine lobster truck. They have a franchise truck now out here on this side of the world." Mm-hmm. I'm like, the cheapest thing on their menu is $25. And last year they had a lobster truck up here and they did really good. This year, not so much. And disappointment, they don't want to come back. A lot of people don't want to come back. I look at their food truck lineup, it's pretty much the same people over and over. Mm-hmm. I do better like 10 miles down the road and 10 miles up the road than I do in the center of town. There is a barbecue place on the corner. They're okay. My prices are a lot better, but anyway, so they're talking about, if the city doesn't embrace food trucks, then they just won't have food trucks anymore. Or maybe they'll just do it, once a month to try to keep it special, mm-hmm. which sucks because I love the place. The people are awesome. But yeah, it doesn't seem like the center of town embraces the possibility of food trucks. I wanted to park a little bit different because where they have us parked is kind of we're at a little bit of an angle. Mm-hmm. It makes people that have fryers not happy. So I was thinking about parking the other way, like on the street, but in the little bit of the driveway that's there, they're like, "Well, it's a state highway. We don't really want to block it." And I said, "Well, it's also 25 through town, so you shouldn't have a problem." So maybe when I go back next, we'll try a parking difference. Because I think by the time they see us, it might be too late and they just drive by.
Right.
Other than that, this weekend was slow, like real slow. I think I did $900 for Friday or for Saturday and Sunday. So
I beat you. I think I was 1,100.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I had a catering, so I didn't count that.
Yeah. I didn't.
Yesterday was I went to a little swap meet, a little farmer's market kind of thing, just on the side of the road. Mm-hmm. It was okay. I think I fed more of the vendors than I did actual people. But yeah. I met some cool people. Sampled some cool products. Atomic squirrel peppers. She had all sorts of like hot peppers that I've never heard of before. Mm-hmm. But I guess they're hot because they're not smooth on the outside. They're all like wrinkled and stuff.
All right.
I don't know. I thought that's how you tell if it's a really hot pepper or not.
Are they scrotum peppers?
Excuse me?
What? You heard me.
Sure. Anyway, so a lot of
those
cool
are extra
people.
Spicy.
Oh, these were spicy. I mean, I tried. She makes pepper jam. And she's like, this is mild. I'm like, okay. And I taste it. I'm like, there's the heat right there. And it didn't go away for probably a good 5 minutes. But still good. But anyway, so yeah, that was my week.
So we killed it. See, that this food truck stuff's just all sunshine and roses.
Yeah. And then so on the way home, I traveled the same exact way that I got to the event, traveled the same way home.
Okay.
And I hit more bumps on the way home than I did there. Don't know how. I mean, looks like it's pretty the same road on each side. But when it looked like my trailer went airborne because I hit a bump twice, I stopped at a local school, took a look, I put to fix the warmer. I put 2 D rings into the frame,
mm-hmm.
and then wrapped it with a ticer with a
ratchet strap.
Yep. Nope. Yanked it right out of the wall. So by the time I got
home,
you
didn't hit a stud.
Well, that's why I sent you the text. Yes, last night, because that's exactly where the fucker was.
Yeah.
But ripped it right out of the wall. I opened the door and everything was all over the place. I still had a little bit of meat left in there. No grease. Yeah. So this morning,
the good news is it didn't happen on the way to.
Sure. It's just kind of one of those things like just cat off a shitty day. Yeah, just kick me in the balls while I'm down, you know?
Yeah, we both had those trips home yesterday.
Oh yeah, and my jack doesn't work. I mean, doesn't really work the best either. So we're gonna spend the next couple of days fixing shit. I need to get a hat that says fixing shit.
Yeah. Is that it's a electric, right?
Jack?
Yeah.
Yeah. But they tied it into the battery that controls the brakes, not a regular battery.
Okay.
So it draws the brake battery down fast because for some reason my 12 volt or my having it plugged in doesn't charge that battery.
Yep.
So I've gone through 4.
Yeah, trailer wiring is weird.
Yeah, so this week I have today and tomorrow off, and then next week I have Monday and Tuesday off. I need to get some trailer stuff done. But I think I'm going to end up replacing the jack with one that will just has its own plug that I can plug right into my truck and just deal with it.
If you wanted to, you can buy just those plugs and you should just be able to wire it in.
Yeah, well, not that mechanically inclined there, big fella.
Well, either was I. I learned a lot of things on the fly when, we were stuck with the jack down and the trailer propped and we're on location. You figure stuff out pretty quick on how to get home.
you just open the window and try to sell some shit. Talk about roadside.
So yeah, well, good luck. Yeah, I think I'm on my 4th jack now.
4th?
Yeah.
Well, you have a much heavier trailer than I do too.
Well, yeah, and I think with the wheel locks that we are using instead of just the chocks, I think part of the problem was that the trailer rocks so much still that the jack would wear and bend. So I think that's why you'd see shavings come off when you're raising and lowering, but yeah, I mean, just from it being bent a little bit and it just wears down. And so
is it worth, let me ask you this, is it worth you installing like scissor jacks on each corner just for extra stabilization?
So we have some on the back that are pretty well beaten up, but even then it would still rock forward and back a little bit.
Yeah, that's pretty
without the wheels locking. So ever since we've done that, the trailer doesn't move forward to front to back anymore. It'll still rock side to side, but not front to back.
Okay.
So as long as we do the process correctly when we arrive and when we take down, so that the wheel locks are the first thing to go on and the last thing to leave when we get there or leave. So that way there's no extra sway on the jack itself at any point in time. So So I'm hoping this one lasts longer. The last one that I just replaced a month and a half ago was user issues. So that one had its own plug. The problem we had with that is we'd forget that it was still plugged in when we got the truck.
Yep.
So and that's how I figured out how to wire those plugs, is from having to rewire that one 10 times.
Yeah.
And eventually it pulled out of the other end, which was just a soldered end. And at that point, I'm out. I'm not going out to buy a soldering iron. And
no, I need to install. I actually need a battery box and a battery, like a real one, because that would probably help the situation with a little trickle charger too.
Yeah, that's. I'm just using the battery we had for the generator to start the generator, run the generator. It's still there, so that one's plugged into that and it works great. So, and then we have the trickle charger, which I found out eventually after 2.5 years that only actually turns on when our headlights are on, not daytime running lights. The headlights have to be on in order for it to actually be on. Yeah, because we were burning through batteries too. Like I had 6 of them that I would just rotate through, and they'd last about 3 days, and then the battery would die from the start of the generator, and then just because the battery, it was fucking retarded.
And it's got to be in gear too.
No, as long as my headlights are on.
As long as the headlights are on? Okay.
Yep, the charger will work. At least that's the way it was wired on our trailer.
So my toy hauler I had, I could charge the battery when it was in gear, like when I just like pull forward, back up, pull forward, back up. But then, that's the only way I could get when I had to store it. It's the only way I could get it off is to charge it that way. Yeah. Okay. Maybe it was because if I I never even tried to think about the lights.
So yeah, probably would. So when you put it in gear, your headlights kick on.
Just my running light, my daytime.
So maybe yours is actually wired into the daytime, so it works with daytime running lights on yours, but it just doesn't on mine.
Oh,
could be. I don't know.
Stupid shit.
Yeah, stupid shit. That would be nice if someone would tell you when you buy the fucking trailer.
Oh, yeah. Oh, here's all the manuals for all the crap you have in here.
Yeah, I got a baggie full of shit, but none of it was for, that weird stuff that you don't think about. Yeah, like it's plugged in. Why would it charge? Why do I
have to worry about it?
Yeah.
Fuckers.
Fuckers. All right.
Answered everything.
That's the end of our show today, everybody. Have a good day. Fuck everything.
Yeah, just go back to your regularly scheduled lives. Have a nice day.
Request for topic. I believe this came from Rich Parker, who works for a company that sells stuff.
Rich is an IT guy.
Yes, he's an IT guy, medical, I think Spectrum. But anyways, so he wanted to know more information.
It better not be about my accounting skills.
About the process, the licensing process that we have to go through and what it entails and what that all looks like.
Wow.
Yeah, see?
Okay. Well, yeah, we didn't really cover that on the how to start a food truck episode.
I have my whole stack here.
Okay. Well, the answer to that is it's going to depend on what county you want to get licensed through.
Partially.
I mean, it's where a lot of it is.
It should be standardized.
It should be, but it's not.
In this, we got to back up further. State of Michigan. This is only going to be for the state of Michigan. I have no idea what other states do. I've heard Indiana is not the greatest state to open a food truck.
And the other thing is I heard Ohio or like Toledo area, pretty easy because there's people from Monroe that go down to Toledo all the time.
Well, the Ohio people just eat out of trash cans anyway, so it doesn't.
Well, that's true. Yeah. They're
Love you, Ohio. Not really, but hey, I know at least a couple good Ohio people.
Yeah. Hate Washington though. Washington's horrible. Anyway,
state or district?
State.
Okay.
Washington State. The damn college. One of the damn colleges out there that destroyed my Smarties.
Oh, I think I vaguely remember seeing a headline come through.
Anyway, that's what happens when you don't have an offensive line. So yeah, state of Michigan. So since I was the one who went through this most recently, I'll tell you what I did, and then Josh can kind of hop on my coattails. So I started out working on other people's food trucks first, and then like such as Josh's. That got me to want to do it. Kind of picking his brain. Dale Ave Lalamont out here in Wyandotte had a vending trailer for a little while. Both shared their S.O.P.s with me, which you can go to the state of Michigan and print them out and then fill them out yourself and kind of figure out, okay, can you do this? Can you do that? Are you allowed
What's
to
an
do
SOP?
standard operating procedure? So it's like, how are you going to hold it? Your temperatures, and if a health inspector is going to come on your trailer or truck, what are they going to look for? Do you have the right sanitization? Do you have, your 3 compartment sinks with a hand sink? There's a lot to go to. I believe it's the MDARD website and basically print out everything you can fill out to be able to submit for your STFU, which is special transitory food unit.
Good job. Yep.
Okay.
So the form itself, without any additions, is 17 pages. The one that I emailed back to them ended up being about 26.
Be clear. Make sure they want to know what you're cooking. They want to know how you're holding it. They want to know how you're transporting food from one place to another, whether you plan on doing it all on your trailer, or whether you have a commissary. You have a commissary. What's your agreement with that commissary? There's a lot. There's a lot to.
So go ahead.
As far as cost goes, that's what varies by county to county. My county in Jackson is almost $500 plus your initial inspection. I got licensed through Eaton County, which is the next county over. It was like $250 plus my first inspection.
I think that's about what I paid. So the reason, well, not the reason there's the discrepancy, but the state dictates a minimum charge. And then the counties can charge anything over that as long as it meets the minimum. Why they do it that way, I don't fucking know. Makes no sense to me. But sorry, just wanted to clarify.
Oh no,
why it's different from state to state. Or
you can actually, instead of going through the county, you can actually go to Lansing and I think go to MDARD themselves, and you can get licensed by the people that, instead of going through each county, you can go through this whole thing. It's you have to figure out the county part first. Where are you going to travel? They were asking like, why am I getting licensed in Eaton County? Well, I want to go to Charlotte, which is a bigger city over there. Or I want to go to, Battle Creek, Marshall, stuff like that.
I find it fascinating that it doesn't matter what county you go to. You can go to any county you want.
Yes. You can go up north if you really wanted to. Now, I heard a rumor from one of the guys here that they're going to work on passing a law to make it standardized, and that they're whatever county you're located in is where you have to get your license from or your STFU from. Like
that
I
makes
didn't
sense, but
yeah, and that's so it's just Eaton County is a small county. It's small. It's people that are there's only one health inspector there. There's actually 2 counties together. It's the Berry and Eaton County. Jackson's bigger. Washington was almost $700 if I wanted to go through Washington. It's just, I like the smaller people because I know them. If they have anything they want to ask me or talk to me about, it's easy to show them. I don't have to create 17 different appointments because I hear Wayne County is like the worst. Like you need a lot of different stuff. And what I found out is that each county will look for, as it should be standardized, but they will look for different stuff. Like, I think you have one on your door and your rear door, and I think Dale had one on the opposite side of the world, a door closer.
Yep.
Was that mandatory?
Yep.
For me, it's not, which is weird. They said anywhere I do prep, I have to have a prep sink. So like if I wanted to throw a Blackstone out on my porch, I have to have a prep sink out there. Right? I mean, like any type of.
So wouldn't you need a sink by your smoker?
That's what they said, because it's only like a 4-foot spot for my smoker to interior, that I'm okay. I'm not quote unquote open cooking out there. I'm like, so you're telling me if I get a Blackstone with a lid, I'll be okay? Or like a turkey fryer or something like that, instead of using the butane burners to make my noodles. It's just I think it sucks that it depends on county to county, but if they make it standardized, I think it's going to be a lot more expensive for people to start them.
Yeah,
That's
maybe they bump that minimum up, and I don't even know what it is. I knew when I got mine, but there's a chance that it goes up to $300 or $400. But I haven't had to pay a renewal yet. It keeps getting waived because of COVID. Kent County had such an abundance of money that they got for whatever. That all fees have been waived, including paid inspections, since 2020.
Really?
So I haven't had to pay a renewal fee yet. I haven't had to pay a inspection fee yet. They've all been waived. And me and another guy were doing the math. It's like millions of dollars. When you look at the number of food trucks and restaurants that all this stuff's getting waived for, I mean,
it's cool that
they keep holding public hearings about forums. Not
Harems have a lot of women. Okay, what's on the mind now? Geez. Yes, public forums.
About what to do with the rest of the money, that they still have millions of dollars left.
Well, it's cool that they're passing it on to you guys, to the restaurant owners. And
I'm not complaining, but the fact that they have that much that they clearly didn't need. Let's not get into politics.
Yeah.
But
I don't know. I found out, it's a learning experience, but I didn't get my sticker. So when you get approved, I didn't get my sticker for 6 months. I didn't actually get my food license from the state of Michigan for 6 months because they're so behind.
Yeah.
I had to show anybody that ever came up, I had to show them my first paid inspection, which it says license number, TBD. If I'm signing up for festivals or fairs that need that information, license number, TBD, and I have everything, but it's like I'm still learning.
That's interesting, because I got I've been able to get all my stuff. The only problem I had was my last sticker. Everything else I got right away, including my new license. But the sticker just got sent to the wrong address or something like that. So I was able just to walk down, like after I didn't get it for 3 months, I just pulled into the health department because we were set up right next to them for the day, and they wrote me out one.
Well, and that's the thing, is they told me I could have went and got my sticker, but backed up.
Yeah.
So that it was for me, it was the opposite. I could have went and got the sticker, but they're like, we just mail everything to you at once. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I the sticker would be handy, because it's it's just like a license plate tag. Everybody looks for that.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know that anybody's asked me to see my actual Michigan license, which is in the window.
Yeah.
But once they see the sticker, that's all the information they need. You know? But anyway, so let me so I have my S.O.P. from 2019.
Oh yeah. You also have to sorry, I remember more things. Apologies. All your equipment, any equipment changes, you have to let your health department know. You're supposed to let your health department know. Supposed to. Anywhere you set up, you're supposed to let the local health department know that you're going to be there at least a week in advance. Even in your home county, you're supposed to let them. I didn't realize that. I thought it was just other counties. They're like, okay, it's all right. Just send it in your email. I'm like, oh, it must have got stuck in my outbox. I'm so sorry.
I've said that a few times. I could have swore I sent that.
Damn. What's that email again?
Yeah. Oh, I mistyped. I switched a couple letters. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mistyped the gov. I put VOG. I'm sorry. It's a racket. Anyway, go ahead with what you were saying.
All right. So I will go through not what I wrote on everything, but I mean, you got most of it, Skippy. So the first thing they ask for is a menu.
Everything that you may cook needs to go on this menu.
So not only what the menu item is, but everything that's on it.
Mhm.
So down to pickles and onions and so we have our whole list of menu. And when I did ours, because you also have to have menu changes approved, which is a full new inspection. So it's not just I'm going to send you this and you approve it. You have to go through the whole initial inspection again, technically, at least according to this Kent County. So you have to submit a whole new SOP and everything. So I put anything that I could think of that we might want to have at some point in time in the future of the business, including fried pickles and candied bacon and corn pudding and most of the meats we've done outside of lamb chops. But so we got that down pretty good.
Corn pudding.
So it's like cornbread, but more of a casserole,
like a scoop kind of thing.
Yeah, but still a cobblery, not runny, okay. But it's just a little bit looser than a cornbread.
Never heard of it.
It's really good.
How well does it sell?
I would love to make it. Huh?
How well does it sell?
We haven't had it. Oh. I don't have time to make it. I mean, I could find the time probably, but
so you have all these items.
Yep.
Down to the onions that you put on your derachos.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have to tell everybody where you're getting everything from.
Yeah. So the next one is food source. So list where you buy all of your food from.
Yeah.
So I have S.O.P.s Farm Market. No. You hit the major ones. So the Meijer, Costco, Gordon Foods, where 99% of your stuff's going to come through.
Sam's, Restaurant Depot.
If you're in a pinch and have to go to the gas station because it's the only thing open at 5 o'clock in the morning and get a gallon of milk, I don't think the health department's going to shut you down.
No.
So it's one of those things where if you've never done it and you haven't worked with your health department for a while, it's daunting. It's like, well, shit, I can only buy stuff from these stores because otherwise they'll know. They're not going to know, but you try to cover all your bases as much as you can. The sale of home prepared foods is prohibited.
Mm-hmm.
So, which means you can't make anything inside of your home and then take it out to your trailer and sell it. Everything must be done on the trailer.
Everything, including boiling noodles.
Yep. The next section is storage. Where are you keeping raw meats? Where are you cooking hot cooked and ready to eat food? Where are you keeping ice? Where are you keeping condiments? Where are you keeping vegetables and fruits? Non-perishables, dry goods, perishable items, all of it. They want to know where you're keeping your containers.
Yep.
So, which is, I get it, but are we really concerned about where we're keeping styrofoam containers? And for us, I mean, we have most of it is listed for on the trailer. Freezers and coolers, shelves and cabinets, very vague. But we've always kept stuff in the house or in the garage or in places, storage units that hold containers for us and charcoal. Just because I don't have room for it anywhere else, everything's kept 6 inches off the ground, just in case.
Mm-hmm.
And we have traps everywhere. Never had any instance of bugs or vermin anywhere in our storage units. Just wish they were temperature controlled. Would be really nice, but
those are expensive.
Yeah, they are. So that's that section. And then food transportation. How are you getting it from the store to your trailer.
No, this is what gets me. Is how do you get it from the store to your trailer? A vehicle. Well then,
Truck?
I
Question
mean,
mark?
some sort of motorized. I'm not riding my bike there.
Yeah. And it says hot foods. I said, not applicable. I'm not carrying anything from a store hot to us. So yeah, I mean, cold foods was coolers. And then it wants the list of what those items are. So it wants you the list of cold foods that you have to get from the store.
Yep.
I mean, it's just retarded, the detail that you want to go through. How are you thawing? List foods that will be thawed by one of the following approved methods, which for us is not anything, but you put it in there just in case. So under refrigeration and what foods are there, and under cold running water, in a microwave, or during cooking, which we had our frozen potatoes and stuff under that, even though we're not doing them. And then we get to preparation. Oh, did you have some?
I'm just laughing.
You went through this. You know how awful it was.
Oh,
Such a stressful document to fill out.
I probably filled it out 5 different times.
Yeah.
Just to make sure that no matter what you do, you have to cover all your bases.
Yeah.
Everything has to be covered, and you have to know exactly how to explain it to somebody it's almost like you have to explain it to somebody who doesn't even know anything about this, even though they have gone through way more of these than you have.
Right.
You have to treat them that they're just somebody off the street.
And some of it, I get how they want to know how you're thawing the stuff, and like barriers used for preparation, or using gloves or utensils or whatever, or how are you preventing cross-contamination, which is all on there. Fantastic. Why do you care about how I'm taking stuff, dry stock, from the store to wherever it's going? Why does it matter?
A bag of noodles. Like,
yeah.
I mean, am I
kicking it down the road?
Am I soaking it in gasoline before I get there? Like what? Like what do you? Yeah. A thing of peanut butter. Like what am I doing with it? Like I mean, come on.
Yeah. So and then cooking indicate how all thaw potentially hazardous foods will be cooked, and then the temperatures at their final cooking temperatures, their cooking methods.
And it's funny, cooking temperatures. So they look at me when I put brisket at like 205, 210. They're like, huh? I'm like, yeah, it's not 165. Yeah. It's not 140. I'm not cooking a medium rare steak, you know. So they take a the first inspection, I just take stuff off the smoker and put it in the hot box. And I've got my ThermoWorks dot. By the way, for anybody looking to start this, I'll give a free plug to ThermoWorks. Get a ThermoPen, get a dot, get something that is going to be, I know, speaking of Rich Parker, he hates ThermoPens for a specific reason, but just get something that insta-read thermometer. Don't get one of the ones because that's the ThermoPens are what I think 98% of the health inspectors use. And maybe if they hear this, they'll give you a free discount code or whatever. But actually, I just got an email. If you go to ThermoWorks, you buy something, you can sign up for their email. They're having you can get a ThermoPen for like $70 right. It might seem like a lot for a thermometer, but it's fantastic. Anyway, sorry, I just want to get that.
That's keyword discount code Monday morning food truck.
I wish.
Okay. No. Right. Damn.
It's your email. Put in your email. Get it. I don't know.
So the next section is cooling, and people ask why I don't cook ahead or whatever. It's this section right here. That makes me the most nervous, is properly cooling food. Yeah. You don't cool anything right after cooking?
No, I don't cook enough to save anything.
Yeah.
I don't have that level of risk that you do.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it's a very specific process on temperatures you have to hit in a certain amount of time. And that's why there's blast chillers, is to bring down the temperature as fast as possible on something that's hot, so you stay out of the danger zone as quickly as possible. So yeah, that's not something I will ever do, at least that I can see, unless we end up with some sort of commissary brick and mortar to do that in, that I can do a blast chiller. Yeah. And then reheating, which is not anything we do either. And then you get to hot holding and how are you holding stuff during service? How are you cold holding stuff during service? What are you using? So everything has expiration dates. Those that are buying, and this is from ServSafe, any pre-prepared items like a potato salad or anything else, it's 7 days after open or the expiration date on the package, whichever comes first. So those are your expiration dates for that. And then you have time alone as a control. So things like a French fry, where there's not an expiration, you're not going to hold that French fry for 7 days. I hope. I've had some that tasted like it. But you're using,
it looked like it. Anyway.
You're more like a 5 minutes after cook type of thing. So those with fryers or want to do fried food, that's kind of how you do that when they time alone as a control would be for that kind of item. And how are you date marking? Are you date marking, Bert?
Yeah, absolutely.
Good. GFS has really good stickers.
They do.
Just little days of the week, piece of cake. And then you have to initial your life away on employee health and hygiene, and that you're gonna make sure you're following all those. This was my favorite section, I think.
Can we go back to something real quick?
Sure.
All right. Do you frequent other people's food trucks, like kind of to try stuff out?
When I can, but we're so seldom set up with other trucks for the most, because we don't do a lot of festivals and stuff right now. But anytime we are, I will eat something from somebody else's truck. Yes.
So how do you feel about going to somebody's food truck and them not using gloves? Or them coming to your food truck asking for something and saying, hey, I don't care if you use gloves. Do you think that's a setup?
I don't. Okay. I'll answer the first one first.
Yeah.
It would depend on the appearance of the truck in general and the people working. Whether or not I make the assumption that they're not using tongs or some other means of a barrier.
Okay.
Because as long as you're using tongs for everything, in theory, you wouldn't need gloves.
True. You're right. Absolutely. Tongs.
So that would be, but I mean, if it's a generally disheveled looking trailer or truck with disheveled looking employees, I would think twice about it. Yeah. Right. So, and then to answer your second question, I don't think it would be a setup. I think it's a truck assuming that probably you use decent hygiene and that they may be trying to save you 20 cents on a pair of gloves.
Like I had that like a week or so ago. He looked at me and he's like, dude, I don't care if you use gloves. I said, it's a habit. It's like I use them. So it's a habit, whether you want me to use them or not. But then I go to his truck and stretching dough without
2 knuckles deep in his nose and then goes and pound your dough.
No, he's a good guy, but I see his workers and I don't even know. I honestly, and this might be my ignorance, but like stretching dough with their hands.
Yeah.
You know, like, and I know it goes in the obviously the 900-degree oven afterwards, and I assume that'll do a lot of that'll help.
That'll do a lot of killing.
Yeah, but it's like, I mean, is that normal? Is that, you know? And
so when I do see people without gloves on, it is a lot of times like pizza trucks or pretzel trucks, a lot of the dough trucks. It seems.
Okay.
I don't know if that is a health department cleared thing or what. I don't know. But again, you want to assume that they're following, at least that they're washing their hands before they touch the dough,
for sure,
and that kind of thing. And that's, I mean, it's no different than anywhere else. You know, you have to take some assumptions, and otherwise you wouldn't eat there, right?
Oh, for sure. No, and it's a clean truck that I was talking about. So I'm just more of, I'm not used to it, I guess.
Right. So perfect segue into my favorite section of this, which was hand washing. Indicate how and when employees will wash their hands. There's this whole section, this paragraph on how to wash your hands.
And for those of you who can't see, because we're not on YouTube yet,
Yeah.
That is probably a good quarter of the page.
Yes. Why is that not a pre-filled thing that you just initial?
Like, I agree to X, Y, and Z.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Here's the what our acceptable method of washing hands is. Okay, I initial.
Because they want you to know.
Yeah, what the fuck ever. And we do. We wash our hands all the time.
I mean,
And
more
sanitize. We have it all. But yeah, it's just such a silly thing. It's like, well, am I writing this right? Am I missing a step?
Yeah.
Like, I pulled it off the SurfSafe website. Like,
yeah. And then
this is wrong. Then we got big problems.
Yeah. Then I had to rewrite it.
So, and then all your employee health stuff on illnesses and do you have an allergen sign up?
No, I don't. People just ask, and I'm pretty good at telling them the right answers.
Pretty good. Well, no one's died yet.
No, I have a niece that is very, very tree nut allergy, and then I have an egg allergy. So those are pretty much that and gluten. Those are the three allergies I always get asked about. Yeah. So I was thinking about putting something up, but I haven't.
Because you have peanut butter on the truck.
I do. It is separated. It is away from anything that it could ever contaminate, I guess you can call it.
Yeah.
But I have, since I have it, people always ask. So I'll probably end up putting something like a blurb up on the window that says, hey, if you have a gluten allergy or if you're gluten free, you can eat meat. And our sauce.
Do you know the proper parts per million for sanitizer?
Oh boy, it's like hold on, 1 cap per 1 gallon.
Oh, you're using liquid?
Yeah.
I'm talking dishwashing. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're using liquid.
1 cap per 1 gallon.
Oh, I use the tablets.
Or one tab per 2.5 gallons.
300 parts per million is the answer we're looking for.
Oh my God! I know how to make it. I know how to make it.
So yeah, I mean, down to that's how are you washing your equipment, and where in the procedure of washing equipment. And it's just freaking asinine. Why I have to list each thing, and there's a spot for each thing: measuring cups, bowls, counters. How are you doing in washing and sanitizing each thing? Can't it just be one thing? Tell us how you wash your stuff.
Yeah, and they don't like you to use bleach wipes.
No, bleach isn't good.
No.
Bleach is bad, Skippy.
No, bleach wipes, like Clorox wipes.
I know. They do make.
I use those in a restaurant. That was okay.
Are you sure?
Positive. It was provided to me by the restaurant. So
that doesn't mean it was okay. That just means they didn't care. I guess, I mean, yeah. I mean, there are kitchen surface safe wipes for cleaning that Clorox may make. Yeah. So maybe that's what but I think they tend to want to keep bleach out of anything, away from anything. I do sanitizer.
You can use bleach, but there's something on the back of it that you have to look for. There's something underneath the ingredients, a certain, not tag, but a certain logo that you have to look for.
I only use bleach in my pipes. I dilute it for my sinks.
Yeah.
Just to get the funk out. But after that, prepping cooking surfaces, how are you cleaning those? Chemical storage.
Sanitizing strips expire.
Yes, they do.
Found that out. Yep, found that out.
It's not good when they get wet either.
It's definitely not good when they get wet.
Because I had that inspection happen and the whole roll was wet of my test strips. Like, I keep going, they're all wet. He's like, don't worry about it. I have some on my truck. Just make sure you go get some new ones.
Yes.
Clearly, these were dry just a half hour ago.
I swear, because I just tested it. I swear.
Yeah. Naturally, every day. But no, I mean, so you do it long. I mean, you know where, so it's a cap full to a gallon. You're not measuring out a gallon of water.
No.
So you've done it enough times that you know how full your sink needs to be
Yes.
to that it'll test right.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, mine's 3 tablets to half a sink full of water.
Half a sink full.
Yeah, which is a lot of gallons. It's like 8 gallons or something like that. I can't believe how big those sinks are because they don't look very big.
They do not look big because you can
But they
barely
hold a
watch
lot
it.
of water. Yeah.
They do.
Especially when you have a backup and everything spills out onto the floor of the trailer. It's a lot of water.
Did you know they make trailers with drains in them?
Yeah.
On the
I
floor?
understand why. I found out very quickly that I can't drain all 3 of my sinks at the same time. The pipes aren't big enough to handle the amount of water.
Whoops. No,
Yeah.
you're supposed to drain them in order.
Yes. Sanitize last.
Yes. That cleans out the pipes.
And you can use it to wipe out the other sinks.
Correct.
With clean water.
Correct. Clean, sanitize.
Yeah. Yes, sanitize the pipes. Yeah, that's it. Where are you getting your water from? Which I thought this was another interesting one that caused me some stress.
So I cannot get it from my home because I'm on a well.
Mhm.
So luckily I have a relationship with a local campground on where I can do gray water dump and where I can do potable water. That's on a city water.
Potable water, not potable.
Whatever, potable. Whatever. It's fucking pot. That's what it says. P-O-T.
We need 2 T's.
Pot table.
Yes.
Whatever. Anyway, it gives me a correct water source along with a correct place to drain my gray water, not just on any side road somewhere.
So yeah, luckily I have access to city water where I am. And then so like RV worlds and stuff like that, well, they have wastewater dumps that you can use that are open to the public that RV World by me does not charge. So we can pull them whenever we want and just dump and go.
Yes, my mother pays us a heavy seasonal price out of this campground, and they're very nice to me.
That's good. I have a problem with gray water and dumping. Outside of volume, tell me the difference between washing your dishes on the trailer and going camping out in the middle of the woods and doing dishes there.
Food particles.
Well, you wouldn't have food particles on dishes when you're camping?
Paper plates. Fires. I don't know. No, I really don't know.
I mean, you're using, pretty much all dish soap these days is pretty chemical free, like harsh chemical free.
Yeah.
There's nothing there that is going to damage the environment by getting dumped on the ground, right? I mean, we've been at plenty of barbecue contests that say, go water the plants when you're done.
Yeah, exactly.
Just dump it over there, find a spot and just go dump.
Yeah.
It's because it's just dishwater. There's no
black
water involved.
You have no black water because you don't have a bathroom. You have nothing there. I mean,
why are we being so fussy? Why can't I just dump it down the storm drain?
Because it's going to go to a treatment plant anyway.
Yep.
I don't know.
Well, storm drains will usually just go into waterways, but still it's gray water, and we are so very careful about not putting any grease into that system. Yeah. Like we wipe everything out that's covered in grease to where it's almost clean before we wash it, just because I don't want any buildup on my internal pipes, let alone.
So on your truck, you offer pickles, correct?
Yeah.
What do you do with the pickle juice?
I take it inside and dump it down my house sink.
So I had a helper dump it down our sink.
Mm-hmm.
The trailer. Needless to say, that didn't smell very good after. Do you think that's why?
It goes away in a couple days.
I know, but do you think that's why? Like, I don't know. I don't say like anything that has to do with like sanitization. Like, I mean, okay, gray water, but you got your tablets in there. You got your chlorine sanitization sink.
I mean, so it's good enough to have on dishes we eat off of, but not good enough for the grass.
Oh, maybe that's the only thing I could think of. I don't know.
My only other thought was it is a grease issue.
Yeah,
and not everybody is as careful as some.
Yeah, for sure.
So
I'll
where
go with
you're
that.
just having grease water dumped out into wherever, and then that gets into the storm drain system, and then you end up with clogs and stuff everywhere. You know,
Yeah,
that's where I think more the majority of it is. But yeah, it's a pain in the ass dumping water. So we've only had a couple incidences. We actually had our wastewater pipe torn off at an event. That was fun.
I come
They're leaking some water, like 70 gallons of it. Not leaking water. There's a waterfall of water coming out. But yeah, you know, shit happens.
I've come really, really close to like bottoming it out because obviously it's underneath. It sits a little bit lower than the bottom of my trailer. I've only luckily I've only bottomed out the back of the trailer where the just metal is. I haven't bottomed out the front yet.
It would be nice to figure out a system that those come out higher and there's like a pump inside the wastewater to pump it out and up, just so it's not sitting underneath the trailer.
See, I've seen a trailer that has it like their freshwater tank and then their gray water tank's right below it, but it's inside their trailer.
Yeah.
I've seen that before. There's a guy on YouTube that showed you how to build a taco truck, and he put and then he just did the pipes going underneath and out. That's
so yeah. So how we deal with wastewater? They want to know where you're going to the bathroom.
They do want to know that, yes.
And I want to know that a lot of the times when we show up to places.
I'll go search for a bathroom, so I know.
Yeah, I mean, there are definitely a couple of locations where we drive a couple miles to get to a gas station to go to the bathroom. And luckily we know ahead of time a lot of the times when those are, so we kind of adjust our liquid intake a little bit. But yeah, there's not always bathrooms accessible to us, which is why it'd be great to have one on board, but I don't want to have to deal with black water on top of gray water. So that I'm definitely not dumping into a storm drain. I watch Christmas Vacation.
Cheddar's full.
And then how you deal with pest control. So you're supposed to have self-closing, and this is where the door came in. It's on here.
Yeah.
You're supposed to have self-closing windows and doors to keep flies and things out so that those doors don't get left open, flies and shit come in. So yeah, we went through, like I lubed up my service window, my screen windows on my service window, just so they would fall properly because they stick all the time.
Okay. So your window is up and down, right?
Yep.
Your windows are up and down. Mine are side to side.
So you need what are they called? It's a wind blade or something like that. So it's essentially a fan
that blows
you have
down
above your window that blows air straight down that the little flies can't get through. An air blade or something like that, yeah. Is what you're supposed to have. So a lot of like fast food restaurants will have. You'll hear it as soon as they open the window.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just to keep the bugs out. So you're supposed to have those. But yeah, when I replaced the screens, I went to like a gnat level mesh on mine.
Yeah.
That people can't even see us through. Like they don't see our faces inside of because it's so tight on the mesh. But we still get flies. I mean, doors are open and flies get in.
I don't think that there's unless you have a blade on or one of those wind blockers on each window or door. I don't think there's a way you can get away from not having a fly or two in there.
Yeah. I mean, we do our best, and it's only gotten bad, I think, once or twice where it's like, where the hell did all these freaking flies come from? I think a lot of it's just where we set up. So
yeah, that's true.
Or it's just a denser area. And then what are your walls and floors made out of? What's the ceiling made out of? And then a food equipment. So it wants a full list of all your equipment on board and model numbers.
Yep.
Any changes have to be approved.
Yep.
Of course. Hot water heater model numbers, the size and dimensions of your dish sinks. And when we had our test done, we'll go to the inspection in just a second. where you're getting your electricity from. And then there's a giant space.
Which is the electricity part of it is messed up too. Like, okay, so because do you put down? So I just put down my generator, but like if I go to a venue that's got a 220 that I can plug into,